join us in this program. Stick around. We'll be back after the break. Find out. I'm back.
Bluntly.
Down on the ground.
One is you need to do everything local, even if you think globally. It means that you don't have to have a networked strategy.
Bluntly, and bluntly.
Growth be considered as a panacea concerning development.
Economic growth in the Congo is on the paper, but it's not the reality.
There's evidence, especially among students, before graduating, you can see.
It may be strong, but people who are dealing with this is the problem. Or white people are not.
Bluntly, oui, Vanessa Yombrania.
From time immemorial, nobody has eaten omelette without bringing eggs. That's why we must polish up economic strategies in order to skyrocket. Do you have any ideas about economic development and welfare? Join us in this program. Bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. Keep in touch. Thank you. Yeah, honey. I think that there isn't a question because we were about to react because Totshumany was really deep.
My reaction,
in depth.
My first reaction is of happiness.
Happiness?
Yes.
Yes.
To see that we've got young people, such dynamic and energetic people.
Excited.
Yes, and in the political area, because I'm a human rights activist and I'm...
You didn't talk like a politician.
I know that civil society only does not change because does not take decision to decide on laws. So because you are there, I'm sure your voice will be heard. But then my concern is that when we talk about peace, we don't have to politicize the concept of peace. It has nothing to do with our president or the opposition. Peace it does not have to be reduced to the aspect of war. I know, and I did on purpose not to reduce that definition to the aspect of conflict, because that is very, 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 very masculine. And this masculinity comes from the international, you feel it from the UN, AU, and all down to our families in our household. So that's why when you feel the definition, the motivation of deciding on a date, they reduce it to the masculinity, because even war itself, as a concept, it's very male. And also the other thing is when my dear brother Totshumany talks, it's good to talk about manufacturing of guns, but we forget the gadget that we use. The natural resource that Monique was talking about from the East, when they take cassiterate, we are pretty happy all to have tablets, to change cell phones here and there, but we actually putting our money into these companies to come back and destabilize our peace in our country.
But what's going wrong? What's going on about war in Africa? Ourselves, like Congolese, we are the only one who are killing our population.
That's even my main. I mean, I always wonder. It says in Europe, Western, having the regional communities that are taking peace war away from them. But we do have CIRGL, we do have SADC, we do have the
war
AU,
is still there.
But the war is still here. Yeah. What's wrong with us? Thank you for talking about the leaders. Leaders go down to population when they have the need. You even mentioned that when they don't understand each other.
Don't you trust African leaders?
They should go to population.
And when you watch TV, people are dying.
I'll have two reactions. One to Annie and the other one to my left-hand neighbor. To Annie, first, I agree with you. There's an extensive definition of peace, and it takes also the aspects you're talking about. But it's a problem of methodology. When you want to sit and plan on problems, you need to limit the concepts. And when we talk about the lack of peace in the family, we talk about violence against women. When we talk about the lack of peace...
But the peace is there also.
Yes, there's peace in there. But for the problem of methodology, we talk about violence against women. When we want to talk about peace within the person, we talk about development. Now we fight against poverty and so on. And when we talk about war and violence, we talk about peace in a reduced sense. But we agree to some extent.
Yeah.
So where I agree with you is to say that we should not politicize peace.
Who has politicized the debate?
We
here?
have a politician around the table. So it shouldn't be politicized.
Yes.
We as a population, we're watching the majority and the opposition fight around the constitution.
Constitution revision of the constitution.
What we should say, what we're thinking about is, it's this political elite who are creating war. He said it's about leaders. Yes. So both the majority and the opposition, when one group is not happy, he goes to war, and the other one topples him, and then so they should sit and think, both of them, together, to create conditions for them to forget about using guns to get to power, and once they are in power, find ways not to frustrate the others. Yes. For them not to be obliged to think
make
war
them happy.
For them not to think war should be a result. For them to protect themselves. Yes. And this is what we as a population will think. So, talking about constitution and so on,
but it's a matter of
it's a matter of peace. Of course.
But if they don't agree about it, there will be war sometime.
There will be a group.
That's why
if the constitution is changed, those who don't want maybe will go to war. If it's not changed, maybe those who want to change. The problem is to build a kind of consensus around them. Yes. Around what is important, how to build confidence between majority and opposition, for them to avoid going to war. Attacking, one group should avoid attacking the other, saying, you are the ones who are wrong, you are the ones who are wrong, and we are right because we want to do it for the population. The majority says they are doing it for the population, the opposition says they are doing it for the population, the population said, sit and build confidence. Because if you don't agree with each other, we'll end with another war.
But you need peace.
We need peace. Even them, they need peace. Yes.
Do you need peace?
Yes, of course. Everyone needs
Do you work to make it possible?
Yes, we all work to make it possible in our own ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
but the way...
talking about sexual violence,
saying,
I think that sexual violence is part of,
Yeah, it's part of it. But the way he's saying, you cannot avoid, when you mention the word peace, the first thing that comes to mind is war. Yeah. So the whole world is nowadays about politics. When you watch Euronews, it's all about war and politics. So you cannot stray from that topic. Yes. When you mention, even to a 5-year-old right now, if you talk World Peace Day, they talk to you about war. So it's kind of in the
peace is a multidimensional world. Yeah. And it involves all those...
yes, definitely.
But now, particularly talking about sexual violence.
Yes.
There are women who also,
don't have peace in their home. Yeah.
You are sometimes, caught and, I
know. Sexual violence is something as well that's hard to, to end. But then again, there's a lot of things being done these days to put an end to it. Because I know Madam Annie has a charity that helps women with sexual violence as well. So, they are helping people. Yeah,
sexual violence in the eastern part of the country,
Congo.
But in many, towns.
Sexual violence all over the world, not just, even in places like the UK and America, there's sexual violence. Yes. So it's just part of human nature. There again, like I said, it happens all the time. Sometimes men like to violate women, That's just the reality.
And nobody will handle sexual violence as well.
No,
This is your way of...
No, people are fighting for it. There is women like Mrs. Bangura who's fighting to put an end to sexual violence. Things are being done, but it's a reality that it will take time. With everything, it will take time to put an end to it. Yes.
But it will never become a reality.
It can become reality.
Now you're changing.
No, I said world peace cannot be a reality. but sexual violence can become a reality. There's a big difference. The thing with world peace, Mr. Anise, it's been happening for years. I know we talk about guns, but even before guns, in the Greek civilizations, we had the Trojan Wars and everything. There's always been war on this planet. It didn't just come about with guns. But now, with new technology, so there'll even be worse, the worst is still to come, because we still have fear that Iran might use nuclear weapons. So the worst is still to come. So
the world is becoming worse.
Yeah, it kind of is becoming worse, because in the Greek civilization, I used to lose rocks and things like that. But now people have weapons that are becoming, you know, very powerful.
Yeah.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah,
so it is a very dangerous world that we live in.
Mr. Totshumany, why did you politicize the debate?
Exactly. You know, it sounds really harsh.
The only politician we have here today,
no,
you know.
It sounds really, I do understand my colleague, when the thing that,
democracy.
when the things that, no, it's democracy.
Yeah.
Against, but when the thing that, it don't have to be making in a political way. Yeah. But I am telling you definitely, I'm taking responsibilities, and those are watching us, and which are people around this table are developing the thinking. I'm telling you, it's all about politics.
Everything is about politics.
It's all about politics. It does sound harsh. It does sound, when you don't really get the time to think and analyze, and you won't be able to understand that. But it's all about politics. The people are giving the subject of the day. Today, the right, the peace will become a right. Who are they? Are the politics? Yes. UN, who are they? Are the politics? Yeah. People are taking guns in a M23. Who are they? Are the politics? So basically, people going to fight the small violence coming in the city. They have to be the policemen. Who's giving policemen the law? Is a politics from the parliament. So basically, like he said, everything is methodic. You have to get methodic. But I'm going to say, when I talk about constitution, it's because this is what can weaken our peace.
Can compromise peace.
Can compromise our peace. We have to understand that peace is not something coming from God, from the heaven. Yeah. Peace is you and I
find a common ground
for it. My brother said we have to go and sit down. Yeah. We, I mean, opposition and
majority, civil society.
In each place, you know, in Iraq, now there's opposition against Saddam Hussein, which has been armed by wherever they came from to fight Saddam Hussein. So that's why it is. But the fact is, the population, like you said, when they ignore so many things, they are used in any purpose. But when you came to decide for a country, there is misunderstand. The only things, that's what I wanted to make it clear, the only things we can do is to go to the population.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bluntly, and bluntly. Everything is under control. You know, when we have people like, you know, Totshumany in Bluntly TV show, things are really better. Strike while the iron is hot. Now, you must work, you know, for peace, you know. Otherwise, the Democratic Republic of Congo will never skyrocket. Tighten your belt because English programs become mandatory on television. Besides, Bluntly, you're watching. We do have another vitally important called Newscast. Newscast is as well a big opportunity for you to express your development ideas without obstruction. Stick around as usual. We'll be back after the break. Find out.
From now on, English program has become mandatory on television.
Watch Newscast and you will be knowledgeable.
Newscast with Anissé Yomboraniam.
Last Friday, any morning, Congolese President set a particular emphasis on the implementation of outlines.
Newscast with Anissé Yomboraniam.
Thanks for